piggyback on the last video that I did on emotional bankruptcy. I'm going to piggyback on that. Oh my God, I cannot verbalize words today. Anyway, yes, I'm going to piggyback on it. And I want to talk to you about gratitude, because gratitude is going to be your biggest increase in that emotional bank account that we talked about before. Now, you may think of gratitude like normal things, like I'm thankful for my family, my health, my job, my car, my career, all great things. Love them so much. But remember, your gratitude journal is going to be one of your key foundations to the things that you really need to take accountability for and that you have to do every morning, right? It's so beautiful. Carve out 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I don't care how long you carve it out, but you got to have it. Now, but it's not just gratitude as a bullet list. And I think this is where so many people, just in general, I'm grateful all the time. I'm grateful for my life and grateful for, okay, good. But that's a hierarchy. That's like a big umbrella. So I wanted to give you I have hundreds of examples, but I want to give you 3 examples of something that I just recently wrote about in my gratitude journal. And I wanted to share it with you so you can kind of see, because sometimes what you get caught up in is you're doing the journals haphazardly, right? You're kind of doing them haphazardly and you're just writing stuff down and you're just tossing it down there for the sake of doing it. But remember, you have to be in it, not just doing it. You can't just show up to the gym. You got to work out. In order to work out, you can't be doing it to lose weight. You got to do it because you're doing it for the best and highest good for what you're doing. It's the same as this. Okay. So one thing that is down for gratitude is, okay. So, gratitude becomes my gratitude journals become more like little books for me. So the things I'm grateful for are never bulletized. I mean, they might start off bulletized and then there's a whole description. Okay. So I'm going to tell you, I am thankful for the tree. Oh, and I should tell you what tree I'm talking about. First of all, I'm thankful for all trees. This is looking right out where my desk is. I can see the tree. There's a tree. There's 2 trees, but I can really only see the one main one. Okay. I am thankful for the tree. I am thankful that the leaves are changing. I am thankful that and when I say changing, it's like a cherry tree, but it's called a pear tree. So they're starting to change. They're going from flowers to the actual leaves. So when I say leaves changing, that's what I'm talking about. Thankful that the leaves are changing and that it will make a nice home for the birds. The birds are beautiful and I get to hear them chirp in the morning. And while sometimes they wake me up a little too early, I'm grateful that I'm awake, that I can hear them. The tree is a foundation and it reminds me to stay rooted. It reminds me that all of the little branches that are off on the side are just little parts of what's going on in my world and that I can bring it all back within the roots. And I have the strong roots to do so. I'm also thankful that the tree can blow and that I can see that, and that the tree needs the wind in order to have the stability to have the growth. I am thankful for that tree. So did you see? I'm not just thankful for the tree. I'm thankful. Why am I thankful for the tree? What do I see? What can I equate to it? What part of that do I have gratitude in? What do I see that being? Why is that tree important? Well, I can go through 900 days talking about different trees and different things that I can be grateful and thankful for with them, right? It's very, very, very important that you understand that, because when you're in gratitude, I think you're thinking that you're in gratitude, and for the most part you are, but to really get deep as to why are you grateful for it, right? And again, beautiful to be grateful with all of the people and everything in your life, but you also want to take an accountability for everything that you can scan, okay? Everything in which you can scan. It's really super important. Okay, next. And that wasn't just one day. That's just one thing within the day. Usually I'm going to do a couple each day. So that's why I said sometimes they're like a mini book each day, which is good because I might include some of those in this little added part of the book that I'm doing for you guys. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, I am thankful for all of the bees. And I'll tell you why. So thankful for all the bees. Now we have wasps out back. Not so much grateful for them, but I am grateful that they are there because it reminds me to get the peppermint oil, because peppermint oil is a really good, repellent. They don't really like peppermint oil. They don't like a lot of oils. So anyway, that's where I was going. Okay. I'm thankful that they reminded me to get the peppermint oil. I love the smell of peppermint oil. Peppermint is really good for creativity as an oil in general. And the bees reminded me of this. I am grateful for the honeybees because the honeybees are enjoying the dandelions that are in the backyard that I was going to kill, that I'm not going to kill. And it doesn't matter how it makes my lawn look because I'm thankful that the bees have something to eat. Once again, I am very thankful and grateful that I have to get my peppermint oil because it's a good thing to have around the pool. So I took something that may be a little bit more annoying and made it into something to be grateful for and something that I was reminded of. Okay. So again, when you're doing your gratitude, I want you to go deeper. And if it's something negative that you see, flip it into the positive. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be toxically positive. I was like, oh my gosh, well, these don't really necessarily want these wasps all over the outside of the house. However, they did remind me to get the peppermint oil, which I have on order, that I can then mix with, I dilute it with a little bit of water and I spray it everywhere and they don't like it. So they go away. I'm not killing anything. I'm not doing anything, and it also smells really good. And peppermint oil is really good for a lot of things. Spiders don't really like it either. So, double duty. So it's a good reminder. So instead of being annoying and going, oh my God, this sucks so bad and blah, 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 blah. Okay. Which goes into the next one. I am grateful for the ants. Around the springtime, when we have lots of rain, ants love to come into the house. It is like a party. Now I do have a good pest service that I use, but I've also, again, the oils will do a lot for this. Ants don't really necessarily like peppermint oil either, but usually they'll come in and take care of it and I don't really have to worry about it. So I said, I'm grateful for the ants. I wish that they didn't have to be in the house, but ants in general are very reminding. Nobody said my English is great. Are very reminding to me that they are worker bees. They are worker ants. And these ants will do anything. They will carry things on their back. They are working for their queen. They are working to do something. They are working to establish something. So while they may be annoying on the inside of the house, they remind me that, hey, it's okay. Let me pause, let me look, and let me start being more creative and allowing my creativity to flow more. Also, don't forget to order orange peel oil and eucalyptus oil. So thank you for reminding me of that. See? So those are just 3 examples of many, and that's all one day, right? So I love that because it gives you a different perspective to shift. You know how you're like, well, how would you change that perspective? So if you don't like the spiders, just remember how beautiful a spider web can be. Whether you like spiders or not, I don't care who you are. If you can look at a beautiful spider web and see the work that they do, see how beautiful it is, it also becomes a trap for the flies. It becomes trap for their food. If you can look at the things around you, this is that mindset shift. Right? The gratitude journal will help you with this so much if you're willing to put in the effort. By the way, I read that to you pretty quickly, right? So it was less than 5 minutes and it probably took me maybe 15 because I like to sit with it. I don't want to just write it. I want to feel it, right? So you don't just write in your journal, feel what you're grateful for. And if it's negative, take it and say, well, what is this showing me that I can get that I can be grateful for, right? So when you're in that mindset shift of changing from negative to positive, you want to start with giving it gratitude, right? And that's just one example. It'll be something else. Like even when the dryer broke, right? I had fixed it a couple times and it was like, okay, it's really time. Like 3rd time, no, it was like 6-7 years old. It's time to go. And no. So when I got rid of it, it gave me a newfound understanding and gratitude for, and I know you guys saw it on my Instagram if you're on my stories. I was so happy. I was like, I could finish a load of towels dry in the dryer for 45 minutes. That hasn't happened in a long time. I usually had to put it on a few cycles. I got used to it. Well, had the dryer not broken, no, I didn't necessarily want to go drop money on washer and dryers. However, it has freed up not just my mental health, the time in which I was doing the laundry. So I'm grateful that it broke and I'm grateful because of that. Grateful for my little Lowe's card too, right? So, but that's the whole thing is no, it's not about pretending that you don't have a feeling or not being frustrated. By all means, be frustrated, have your feelings, be irritated, be angry. They're all fine. Just look and flip that, because when you do that, you're going to be able to start getting really aware. And I promise you won't have to just constantly rewrite the same things in the journal. I do write about that tree a lot because there's a lot that it reminds me of. Like the nests will be in there. Then when the leaves change, it reminds me of things. Out my back door, like out my back slider, I have my pool, I have my fence, and there's a bunch of trees back there. And sometimes there's an owl there. Sometimes there's like a a woodpecker in there. I was gonna say a peacock. I promise there's not a peacock in the tree. If there was, it'd be on here. But that's the whole thing. So even just like with clock changings, and even when I go through any kind of a cycle, if I feel more depressed or more manic or whatever, I know my body is trying to tell me something. And while it's not necessarily joyful, I have to be grateful that my body's going, hey girl, you're not doing more of this wellness. Like, I'm going to need you to like up your game a little bit here. Okay. So I got to be grateful for it because it's reminding me of something. So that is how I want you to start practicing your gratitude.